Hey guys, Tony here, and I will be discussing some NES Classic news. NES Classic Edition. So, there was a recent article on Forbes from one of their contributors, Eric Kane. He actually has a YouTube channel. You guys should check him out. He's a really cool guy. I like his channel, I like his content, and I like his articles. But he came out with an article about the NES Mini is a mistake. So I'm going to give my opinion on it, weigh in on it, and I'll let you guys know if I think it's a mistake, if Nintendo is going to be re-releasing the NES Classic Edition in summer 2018. Check out what I have to say, guys. Alright guys, so again, talking about the NES Classic Edition. I love this thing. I just think it's so cool. As a collector, it's so neat. I love the overall design of it. And I did a full unboxing of this. And the games, the selection of games are awesome. And I just love it. It's a great item. I'm glad Nintendo did this. They finally got on board with the the Atari flashback craze stuff. So, an article came out last week by Eric Kane, and the article's name was "Here's Why It's a Mistake for Nintendo to Release More NES Classic Edition Units in 2018." And this is on the Forbes website, and I'll leave a link down in the description for you guys to read and digest and have your own opinion. And this is just my opinion. And I'm not bashing him. I actually really like his channel. I really like his articles, and he's a really cool guy, and I subscribe to him. You guys should too. So, we all know the NES Classic Edition is being re-released in 2018. We don't have any numbers yet. We don't have quantities that are going to be produced, but I have a feeling that they're going to be produced after they think they have enough SNES Classic Editions out. Alright, so that's my opinion. I don't know. It just makes sense. Alright, and he says that he does not begrudge anyone getting their hands on one. Quote. That's a quote from his article. Does not begrudge anyone trying to get their hands on one. And I agree with him, okay? If you are a collector and you don't have one of these and you want one, it makes sense. Okay? It really does. I mean, and you just can't, you don't want to pay $200 or whatever for one of these. You just want to have it for the $60, right? That's what I paid, and plus the other controller. Okay, so I paid retail. That's what I wanted to pay. I got lucky, thanks to White again. And this is what he says. He says that Nintendo just cannot keep up with the demand of these things, and I agree with him. And we've seen that with this, and we're probably going to see it with the SNES Classic Edition for a while. They're going to sprinkle some in throughout the year, and they've announced that they're going to produce Super NES Classic Editions throughout 2018. So that's good. That's good news for fans and collectors. So this is what he says. This is his argument why. And I agree for the most part. Okay, and I agree. I get it. Okay, so he says that there are, and I get it because it's this is an older console, and it has older games, and the SNES has better games. Okay, he says argument number one, they have better games on the Super NES Classic Edition. Okay, and the Super NES Classic Edition is better. That's just your opinion and how you view gaming. And I understand they're going to be more technical. They're going to have more content. They're going to be beefier. Okay, they are quote unquote better games. And he said that only, nostalgia only lasts for so long. Okay, and I think this is a good set of games. And to compare these games to the Super NES Classic Edition, you can't do it. They're two different things. I mean, it's like asking me, which one do you like better, the NES or the SNES? I mean, I'm gonna say the SNES because that's what I grew up with. Those are the games that made me a gamer and made me love gaming and RPGs and all that. But I just, I'd have an argument that these are just as good if you just give them a chance. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to sit down and play Donkey Kong Jr., okay? It's gonna be hard, to sit down and play Star Tropics, which, I mean, it should be on this. I get it. Gradius is gonna be a very short attention span, but it's debatable. It's in the eye of the beholder. And I get it. I understand where he's coming from, what he's saying, and I agree. But people want this to play the games. People want this to enjoy the games. I mean, it has Mario 1, 2, and 3 on here. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, it has Punch-Out. It has Castlevania 2. It has Dr. Mario. It has everything that you'd want to play. It needed Tetris, in my opinion. Zelda 2. I mean, come on. Kirby's Adventure. Mega Man 2. Final Fantasy. I mean, it has everything that you'd want to play on the NES. Okay, so moving on, he also says, and I actually agree with these points 100%. I get it. You should focus on the newer and better products. He said that you should focus on the Switch and the production of the Switch and the production of the Super NES Classic Edition. I agree with the Switch. They need to pump those things out. Man, I love the Switch. The Switch it's basically blown my expectations out of the water, and fans alike. I think it's gonna kill. Oh my gosh, it's gonna put Nintendo back in competition with Sony and Microsoft. Not, like the Wii days, but it will. Okay. He also said that you should focus on the Super NES Mini production. I get that too, and it makes sense. Now, Nintendo is not as powerful as Sony or Microsoft. They don't, they can't produce like those two juggernauts. Okay, so I get that. And they gotta focus on what's next and what's gonna be more profitable. Okay, so I agree with all those. My biggest thing is just the games. And the games, like comparing this to the Super NES Classic Edition. It's your opinion. It's a matter of an opinion thing. Now, I agree, but, this needs to be out on the market again. A, for less scalping going on. Okay. B, so that basically those collectors that have not gotten one yet can get one. I know there's people out there that don't have this, that want this, but they're not willing to pay. Now you're saying, well, they're cheap. They're cheap. Well, I mean, I'm cheap too, but they shouldn't have to pay more than $60 for this thing. Okay, they shouldn't. And just putting it in your collection and loving it for many years to come. Okay, and then also for the casual fans. I mean, this is really hurting the casual fans more than the collectors. The collectors are going to get these regardless, I think. But for the casual fans, like, those 30-somethings that want this, they want to play with their kids. They want to, let them experience what they played when they were kids. And letting those kids experience these games, play these games, love these games. I just think I don't think it's a mistake. I really don't. And yeah, you know, they need to focus on the SNES, but if they pump enough of those things out, we're gonna be fine, you know. So yeah, it's not a mistake. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's a mistake on Nintendo's behalf? Do you think they should just stick to the Super NES Classic Edition production? Should they just stick to the Switch production, 3DS production? You know, it's a matter of opinion, and it's a business decision, really. So let me know what you guys think. And are you planning on getting one in 2018 in the summer? I might try to snag up one of the European versions, the PAL version, and maybe even the Famicom. I would love to have the Famicom version. I think it would be cool. It has a few different games, and I just think it would look cool in my collection. I need to get a Famicom first, right? So guys, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That's going to put you in the running to win a Super NES Classic Edition from moi. So guys, I really appreciate the comments, the likes, the views, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.